University. So for all of you that are jumping on here, just to kind of give you a heads up of where we are at right now. So this is the second week, and today we are going to go over a lot of stuff. Today we're going to talk a little bit about posting on social media. We're going to specifically talk about Instagram. For those of you that are building your business on Instagram, we're going to talk a little bit about stories. So if you have questions, I really, really want you to interact, right? So this call goes way better when you guys ask questions. So if you've got questions about what to post, how to post, if you're struggling with getting interaction or nobody's commenting or you're not feeling like you're getting momentum, great place to just drop it in the comments so that I can answer those questions for you. We're going to talk a little, so what to post. We're going to talk about hashtags and how to use them appropriately. We're going to talk a little bit about the free community, and we're going to obviously talk a little bit more about getting our first accountability group sort of planned and getting that game plan in place. So we're going to work on that today. We're going to talk a little bit more about just kind of setting goals and kind of where to go from here. So last week was week 1, and I know that for many of you, some of you actually maybe just signed up and this is maybe your first week as a coach. The one thing I want to tell you is that it is absolutely normal and okay to feel overwhelmed. All right. It is also very much okay for you to be like, what the heck did I get myself into? I don't know if I have the time to make this work. Because I remember starting my business and my kids were teeny tiny. They were super little. I was at home all day long and, trying to not only work on my own fitness results and my own fitness goals, but then trying to learn the business. I really felt like a hamster in a wheel. And all the time I was trying to kind of catch up. So if you feel that way, just allow yourself to kind of take a deep breath. And I really want you to hear me when I say it is not a race. There is no pressure. This is supposed to be fun. Every one of you is here because you like health and fitness. You have a passion for it in some way. You're trying to work on your own fitness results. So maybe you're looking at this as accountability. And yes, you may have big goals for this to become a full-time career or a part-time career or whatever you envision this to be. But I want you to understand that it absolutely is a process, and it's a process that's going to take time. A lot of times, and even for me, I remember thinking, okay, I shared my results. Everybody should be beating down the door and signing up because if it worked for me, like everybody should invest in it. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. People inquire, they want to know more, but then they find every excuse in the book. But the longer that you are consistent, the longer you're positive and you're motivational and you're actually, when I say adding value, like actually giving people suggestions in the form of recipes or meal planning or time management tips, like the more you give out those kinds of tips, the more people are going to start to follow you. So your business is really about creating this influencer mindset. And an influencer is somebody that people come to because they seek value in what they are posting. All right. And it's not just, and it's more. And so that takes time to grow. It is something that it takes a while for you to develop trust and that credibility for people to find you, for referrals to happen. So you do have to have a little bit of patience in this process. It is by no means a get rich quick or snap your fingers and money's going to fall from the sky. But I will tell you, it will happen if you follow the plan. So that's something that I want to just kind of put out there. And I will say that the book that we all recommend that you read, personal development is a big part of what I do, right? So The Compound Effect is the first book. And I will tell you that this book truly is what helped me in those moments where I felt like I was consistent for 2 weeks and I still hadn't had my first challenge pack sold, right? It was just that pumping of the well and knowing that, and that belief that it will happen, that self-reflection. All right. So this is the book that you should be reading and working through. I am the slowest reader in the world. I read a chapter a day. It takes me like 2 months to read a book, but that's the way I am. And that because I don't have a lot of free time, a chapter of a day works fine for me. So don't feel like you have to spend hours a day reading. All right. So I am always kind of operating into what do I absolutely have to do to actually move my business forward. So yes, we will go over how to find people to invite, yes, and putting a lot of pressure on yourself to hit a success club. And yes, healthy pressure is good. and pressure is okay. You know, goal setting is important. We definitely want to go in that direction. And so you still have half of the month left, and that consistency piece and some of the things I mentioned this morning, you know, in that little live video I did, you know, in the other page is just like taking those objections and making them public posts. And I think what I'm going to talk about today is also going to really help. All right. So last week, hopefully you guys got a few things set up. You got your Linktree set up with your applications. I think that's important. One other thing that you can add to Linktree is you can actually go in there. And so did everybody create their closed Facebook group for their community, right? So that community page where you're going to funnel people in. So you can actually say, join my free community. You can add another link to Linktree, and then you can copy the URL from the Facebook link and put that into Linktree, and that's another place that you can direct people. So let's just take a moment first. I want to just talk about the purpose of that free community and why I had you create that group. And then I know some of you may not know the ins and outs of like how to make a banner. So let's just talk real quickly about some of those things. So the free community, the closed Facebook group, again, it's not private, it's a closed Facebook group, is meant to be a place where we actually share details with people that may be interested in what we're doing. In order to add people into a community, I want you to hear me out. It's so easy for when you see somebody requesting to join a group is to just go down and hit accept, accept, accept. And you're thinking like, yes, I'm so excited these people want to join, right? And so that's great, but you really want to make sure that these people are assigned to you as a customer, right? So as a free member. And so there's an easy way to do that. I'm going to kind of walk you through that. Now, why do you want to make sure that they're signed up with you as a customer first? Because you're going to be talking about the products you're using in this closed group, right? You don't have to do curiosity marketing in there. You can tell people I'm doing Lift 4, I'm drinking Shakeology, this is the meal plan, I'm using portion containers, I'm doing the 3-day refresh, this is my supplement. Like you can just go in there as many times a day or maybe 3 times a week and you can be pretty real about what you're doing. And what's going to happen is people are going to become interested and they may go out and purchase, because that does happen where people just go and buy Energize, right? Or they go and buy Recover, or they buy a Beachbody On Demand subscription. And if you just let anybody into the group, you're going to find out later on that they bought a trial of Beachbody On Demand, but they didn't have a coach and they didn't know you had a link, so they just went and signed up through something else, right? And they were assigned somebody. So we want to make sure that we actually get people funneled in right from the start and they're assigned to you as a customer. Very easy to do. All right, so let's I'm going to do a screen share with you because I want to show you how this goes. So all you do is when you are on Facebook, let me just make this big here. So when you're on Facebook, for those of you that haven't created a Facebook group yet, all you do is go down to groups. And when you click on groups, then a box is going to pop up in the right corner and it just says create a group. And that's where you're going to create the group at, all right? Now, I'm not going to create it because I already have one, but I just wanted to show you where it's at. And then I have my group, and it is called the Committed to Getting Fit by Melanie Mitro community page, is what mine looks like, all right? Now, when you come in to my group, this is what it looks like. I made this banner. I made it on Canva. So this is the website that I use. It's called canva.com. It is free. It is not hard to use. And all you do is you can find this Facebook cover, and then you click on Facebook cover, and now you can make yourself a banner. Now, it's very easy. You don't even have to get super fancy with it, but keep it simple, make it professional. Let's pick from a template that's free, because there are tons of templates. And so maybe we just want to go down through and say, let's pick something that kind of looks maybe health and fitnessy, right? So let's just say pineapples are kind of our jam. All right. So now this is the template that you're using. And then all you would put on here is just put in there, if you have a name, if you are like, mine's Committed to Getting Fit. You don't have to have a name, but maybe you just say Melanie's Free Fitness Community and Support Group. All right. And that's it. And I'm just going to make it so that it fits on here. And that's it. That could be all you do. That's very simple. And then all you hit is download, and you want to download it as an image. And when you hit download, it's actually going to save right into your computer. And you have to do it on a computer. You can't do it on your phone. So do it here. Then you're going to go back over to your community group that you've created. And then I would click like change group cover. And then I would just drag that in there and change the cover. All right. So that's very simple, very easy to do. That's all you have to do. Now, if you go in your community and you click, you see where it says those three little ellipses and it says more, click on that. Then you go to edit group settings. When I go to edit group settings, this is really where I can go in and I can have a description, right? So I actually have right here, welcome to the Committed to Getting Fit by Melanie Mitro community page. This page is for current customers of mine to stay connected on upcoming news, motivation, tips, and resources. This is not a formal challenge group, but a community to share. And then I go on to say, if you don't have a Beachbody coach, here's how to sign up and create an account. Most people don't actually do that. Like even when they read the description, I can say a small select number of people do it, but I still put it in there. All right. Now, what I do is I make sure that I go down here and see where it says membership approval. Only admins can add people in there, because you don't want to add a person in there and then they just start adding random people. And before you know it, you've got all sorts of people you don't know. So admins only is what I do. And then where it says membership request, you see this part right here? And so I have this ask questions. So here you can see where you can put 3 questions. Are you a coach or a customer? Who is your coach, and what are your current health and fitness goals? All right. So that's what I have in there right now so that I can keep track of people. And then what I do is when somebody requests to join this group, and maybe I don't know them, maybe I put it on Instagram and I maybe directed people through my stories to my bio to join the free community, and they join. Before I accept them, I send them a friend request. I send them a friend request, and then I say, hey, I saw you were interested in joining my Committed to Getting Fit community. How did you find me, right? That's usually what I'll ask, and I'll say, hey, I want to add you in there. And I'll usually say, like, what are you interested in? And then I'll say, I'm going to add you in there, but can you just go make me your free coach? And so what I do is I send them this link. So the link that I send them is, let me just find, I don't think I have it up here. So if I go to 411, this is what I use, the coach link generator, which if you don't have this saved, you can actually go to your, go to the prep tasks, the very first unit, and it's in there. So I put in my coach ID, 108343. I click submit. Then I go down to registration, and here is free membership. And that's it. So all the person has to do, and then I just copy and paste that and send that over to the person. Now, if I go to that, this is what's going to pop up for that person. It is going to ask them to create an account, and they don't have to pay for anything. It is a free account. See, it says you're assigned to Coach Melanie Mitro, and everything is all set up. Super easy. Now, why does this happen? Because if somebody decides they want to buy something from you, then it's going to, if they want to buy something that you're talking about in that community group, now they can just go in and buy it and not a problem. All right. Okay. So those are some things that you can do to get your business sort of up and running. Now, what do I do with this actual community? Like, why is it important? Well, it's important because I can communicate in here. I can ask lots of questions. I can talk about things. So here I am, right? For example, on August 9th, I said, I'm so ready to give myself a good detox. Starting on Monday, I'm going to be doing the 3-day refresh. I attached the link to it below so you can check it out. If you want to do it with me, snag your kit. You might have to do expedited shipping, right? So I go in and talk about it. And then I just put the link in there because I can give them the link to buy it, which I use that coach link generator, and there it is. Now, not very many people commented on it, so actually right after I'm done with you guys, I'm going to go live and I'm going to go into this group and I'm going to actually talk about my meal plan. I'm going to talk about the 3-day refresh. I'm actually going to upload my pictures of my before photos, my day one, which I'm going to walk you through. I'll show it to you because I actually have it on my stories already. And I'm just going to copy and paste right in there. So basically, I can talk to the people in this community about what I am doing. I can run little like free mini challenges. So I can go in here and say, all right, we're going to do a water challenge this week. Our goal is to drink half our body weight in ounces of water a day. And I can just go in and post my water. My goal is to make this like a community where people come in and just come for support. But then as soon as we start advertising for our challenge group, we're going to do it in here too. So that's the point of this group. It becomes our place to advertise without having to kind of be real curious like we are with social media. Does that make sense? So I hope that helps. Like you can see, I've done some like challenges in here. Here is where I announced my next Summer Strong Challenge group. I'm excited to announce my next group. This is where I shared information on that. You can see just information about the community page. I've talked about Lift 4. You know, when I talked about, I'm so excited about Lift 4, there were people that commented. So I sent them a private message. I was like, Zoya, I saw you were interested in Lift 4. You know, do you want to do it with me? I'm starting a group, you know, so this was my way to just kind of chat with people and talk back and forth. All right. So just to give you a heads up, that is what I use the community page for, and it works really, really well. So let me stop for a moment and talk about that. Okay. Which form template do you use in Wufoo? Can you go over how to make forms? I can. Let me just pull this up. So there are, it's not, you just want to use just a regular template. I don't know if I still, hold on a second. It's been a while since I've logged into this because I used something through my blog, but this is what I used to use, and I'm not sure if it's still, if I still have like the login. Darn it, I don't know what it is. I don't actually have it. Darn it, I thought I did. Okay. I can't do it right now, but I will. But if you, so just do a form where you can ask questions, and I forget what the name of it is. Oh yeah, it's in the prep tasks. Thank you. I already have it, so I don't have to go back in. Thank you, Amber. So Jamie, just go back through the prep tasks and click on it, because clearly I don't remember my login because I made it a little while ago. All right. Okay. So now that we have this community part out of the way, that's really where we're funneling people in. So a couple of things that you can really work on is from last week, you started to put out there, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm excited to launch my business. Another thing you can do is send out an email to everybody that you know. So one of the things I did was I sat down, I opened up a Google, or not a Google Doc, I opened up my Gmail, and I just wrote kind of my launch post in an email. And I said, I'm so, you know, you may not know, but I have been on this journey to eating better and to making exercise a part of my routine. And in this process, I partnered with this company because I'm seeing great success. I'm seeing other people have success. And I decided that I was going to mentor other people, right? This was going to become my business. And so I am getting ready to launch my very first accountability and support group. It's going to start on, you know, September 3rd with my preseason, and day one is going to be September 10th. Here is what an accountability group is. Give people a description about it. Tell people a little bit about your results, right? Like, I've lost X amount of pounds or inches, or this is how I'm feeling emotionally or physically. Like, give people some context, and then let them know if they're interested in more information to respond back. Or you can even say, join my free community and check out what I'm doing, and I'll give you some more information. So that's another thing you want to do, because many of you have friends and family members, previous co-workers, people you went to college or high school with, that might be interested in what you're doing. And it's kind of a cool update to say, like, this is what I'm up to these days. And at the end, I just wrote in there, if this is not for you or you're not interested, no big deal. But if you know somebody that might be interested, pass this along to them. And at the bottom, I just put follow me on, and put my Facebook and my Instagram kind of URLs so that people could go and follow me and find me. So that email was another way that I launched my business and kind of got that word out there. So those are things that if you haven't done yet, launching your business, making that post, sending out an email are absolutely important. Because think about it this way, you can't just come out of nowhere and just start posting about fitness and nutrition and workouts. People are going to be like, I don't understand. She loved her dogs last week and now she's not posting anything about her dogs. It's all about these workouts that she's doing. So you do have to kind of say, like, I'm opening my doors for business. This is what you're going to see more of in the process. So you kind of make that smooth transition. But also, don't stop talking about your dogs. Like, if that is a part of who you are, that still is a part of it. Maybe it's just not every post. You sort of are working that in there as you go. So let's make the transition. Now we've launched our business. We've got our community set up. Now we really need to start attracting people to us. Attracting people to us comes from the things that we put out there. The things we put out there are super, super important. So what do we actually post? This is your brainstorming session, and in the coach training, I actually have that PDF that you can download. It's like the weekly post planner. It's in one of the units. I believe it's like in the second unit there. But what I want you to say to yourself is, number one, what's my purpose this week? Is my purpose to get 50 new followers? Is my purpose to get, 10 new people to sign up for a free account? Is my purpose to sell 2 new challenge packs this week, right? So write it down. What's my purpose? All right. So that's your goals at the top of your page. Then underneath, I want you to say how. Like, how am I going to serve other people? What am I going to teach them? What am I hearing that people are struggling with, and what am I struggling with? So I'm going to use myself as an example because I think this is perfectly how I run my business. I can never sell something that I don't believe in. I can't sell something that I'm also not doing. I'm actually very bad at that, right? So here I am. I'm doing Lift 4. I've been talking about Lift 4, for the past 3 weeks. That's definitely the #1 program that I'm selling. But I've also been on this 6-week hiatus of vacationing and traveling and work stuff. And so I've sort of I ousted myself. I was like, I've gained a good 10 pounds, right? Since June. And so I went on my stories. Many of you saw it maybe this morning. And I talked about this 3-day refresh. All right. I talked about just kind of this fresh start. And this is exactly what you can do. Maybe it's your day 1 of your photos for your workout program that you're starting, Lift 4, 2B Mindset, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to show you what I did on my stories. So basically I just took people through what was going on in my life right now. So if we look at my stories right here, I'm going to click on it. I know it's going to take me to something live. So let me try to figure out how to get through it. All right. So story. So here we go. So this was yesterday. I say, after a few weeks off, I'm totally craving my routine. I say, nothing like hanging by the pool, day 1 of detox, talking to new members and soaking up sun, right? So this is just me kind of putting it out there that this is what I'm doing. Then I've got this is just life, right? Things that I'm doing, kids, what we were doing last night. I talk about some results from the programs that we're doing. Now let's get to this morning. So here we go. Here is an example of just talking about daily life. So what did you guys do this morning? Did you drink your pre-workout? Did you drink your Energize? Look, I strategically have the can kind of turned so you can't see the name of it. I say it's Go Time pre-workout is my saving grace. So I've got that listed right in there. It's just a little boomerang that I did this morning. All right. Then this is my personal development, right? So I like to kind of talk to people about what I like to read and what are my favorite takeaways. And this allows people to connect to me. They know that I'm somebody that goes to church and I'm spiritual. And so this just connects me to people. I also use the hashtag morning devotional in case somebody would search that, they may find me. Then you can see my gratitude journal because that's something else that I do. I say it's from Amazon. Again, good days start with gratitude is one of the tags that I used. Super easy, not hard to do these little clips. Now, this is where I'm starting week 4 and then day 2 of my plant-based cleanse. That's it. So all I'm saying is week 4 starts today. I'm not telling you what program I'm doing and I'm not telling you the name of my cleanse. My next post Again, this is my workout. Now, let me tell you a little secret. It says week 4, chest, tris, and core, 20-pound weights, right? And then you can't see on this picture right now, but I actually have 10 hashtags that are hidden that you can't see, because this is how I'm going to attract people to me. So I have Lift 4. I have Shakeology as a hashtag. I have Joel Freeman Fitness because he's the creator of the program. I have Mom of Boys. I have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because that's where I live. I have women, I think I have like weightlifting or HIIT program, right? I have plant-based cleanse. I actually have 3-day refresh hidden in there too. And all I do is I copy and paste those same 10 hashtags. And when you do them and you just shrink them down super tiny, and then you kind of throw them in the corner, like you can actually like slide them out of the way so you can't even really see them there. So that will go in every single one of my stories. Those hashtags, that's how people are finding you. All right. That's how people find me, is when they're searching for things. So going on. Now I usually do about 3 clips, and then you can see So Excited because my clients are starting today. So I talk about the fact that like you can join me in this. So I kind of throw that in there. I want people to see what the workouts are like. Sorry. There might be music. All right. So anyways, then I talk about week 4, seeing my muscles pop because I'm starting to see definition. And then I also say ready for day 2 of my detox. So you can see that there. Very easy. Again, hashtags are hidden. This is just me and my morning stories. Then that's a call I was doing. Now this is where I talk about my plant-based cleanse. So let me see if
I'm getting tons of messages about this plant-based cleanse that I'm doing. And so I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what my meal plan actually looks like. So when you first wake up in the morning, you drink a full glass of, and then I, excuse me, went and did my workout. And after my workout, I came up, made myself my shake. So it's just water and ice and Shakeology in there. So I drink that. And then just about 20 minutes ago, I drank my mid-morning sort of fiber. They call it like a fiber sweep. So I had that. And then I will be having lunch here in a little bit. So that's where I'm at right now. Lots of water. So tons and tons of water and green tea to help stave off hunger. But the reason I'm doing it is just to kind of get rid of the sugar, kind of reset my body, just back into clean eating, proper nutrition. Was able to exercise this morning.
And there we go. So I kind of talked about it. Oh, let me go back. So I talked about it, gave you guys a couple of clips, very easy to do. Then I did day 1. This was yesterday. I actually took a picture of the scale when I stepped on. Holy swollen ankles, right? And then I said, it's the highest weight that I've been since December of last year. Then I did today. Oh, wait, let me go back. I did today, stepping on the scale this morning, and I'm already down 3 pounds, which I'm sure is bloating, detox, water weight, but I'm already feeling better. And look, my ankles aren't as swollen. Then I go on to actually show the photo. I can already see my stomach depuffing. So day 1 to day 2. And so now you can see those results. And then I actually shared my shake. So that's my morning. Like I've kind of been doing my journal. So for you guys, let's say you're starting Lift 4 and today is day 1 for you. So what did you eat for breakfast, right? What was some of the workout clips that you did this morning, right? What are you eating? Go through the day, like just talk to people without saying the product or the program. Talk to people. If people ask you what workout clothes that you wear, like that's another post. So your job is to every day take people through the story with you. So tomorrow I'll do it again, and I'll actually share my day 3, like the morning of day 3. I'll show what I look like again. I'll take another before photo, another photo. I'll get on the scale and I'll journal the 3rd day. And then on the 4th day, when I'm all done, that's when I will go back in and I'll do a recap of these 3 days. For those of you that are doing a fitness program, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to carry that on throughout the course of your program. So this is another one. So tomorrow is my Transformation Tuesday. And so every Tuesday, you'll see me do my transformation story. This is me before, when I started my fitness journey on day 1. And this is me now. So, that it's okay to do that progression, right? You want to talk about who you were before and who you are 1 week in, 2 weeks in. Did you, like, what are you learning about yourself in this process? Really getting to kind of talk to people and share the journey with you. So a big part of what you're doing is just sharing the journey. And you can see I have a post about my workout. I do have a little advertisement, but a lot of what I'm doing, you can see it's like pictures of my kids, pictures of my husband and I, workout, family, workout, right? Transformation, lifestyle, things I'm doing. So you can see there is a good mixture in there. So I want to make sure that you guys are kind of making sure that you're paying attention to the look and the feel of what you're doing, so it is a little bit more fluid. Now, let's talk a little bit about let's go into like what to post a little bit more. You can do your side-by-sides. That's one thing. Daily routine, energized, devotional, personal development, favorite coffee. Do product reviews. How many of you have like a favorite skincare product or a favorite face mask that you do? Or, do you do self-care Sunday and you have like a favorite bath soak or nail polish that you love or lipstick that you found or eyeliner that doesn't smudge? It doesn't all have to be health and fitness related. It can be lifestyle. It can be parenting things. Like I found this great deal on Amazon for school supplies. Share it, right? So your stories are your life. Your posts are your life. You're getting people to really connect with you as an individual. Here's some more things that are related to Beachbody, right? So modifications. I can't do push-ups on my toes. I suck at push-ups. So it's totally okay to show a modification. If you have learned how to use resistance bands instead of weights when you travel, then talk about that. Say, look, when you travel, it's okay if you don't have weights with you. Here's the bands. Here's how you use them. This is a great modification. Fits in your luggage and you can take it with you. Other things are on Sunday. If you saw my stories yesterday, yesterday I posted, thank you. I actually talked about my meal plan. You saw me kind of post about it. And then I kind of walked through, I did a little live video that talked about meal planning. Let's talk about portion size. How many of you are learning that you're overeating certain foods or, you're eating way too big of portions? You might be eating all healthy foods, but they're not the right kinds of foods. How many of you are like, I totally am not drinking enough water? So what are you learning? These should be all things you're teaching. And that's how you build a following. It's just people begin, not because you're saying buy this, buy this, buy this, but because you're like, advice, advice, advice. Okay, now I want you to join me. All right. So think about it. Advice, motivation, inspiration. Then I want you to join me kind of a deal. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to think about. And I told you how to hide the hashtags, which is perfect. And do you share the transformation story on your IG feed too? Yes, I do. So one of the things that I do is when I do my transformation photo on my feed, on my Instagram feed, you can actually, when you're on Instagram and you're on your post, when you click on your post, there is right underneath where it said, like, there's the heart where you have like the little bubble to leave a comment, but there's an arrow. If you click that arrow, the arrow says add post to your stories. And so you can take your transformation post and now you can put it right on your story and then you can write text around it. And then that way, and then you can say to people, like, these are my results from, and so it directs people kind of back and forth to your story, to your feed. You're going to find that some people only watch stories and some people only look at the feed. You'll find that not everybody, and even my mom, like, we were in the car the other day and she goes, these are my favorites across the top, right? And I was like, no, Mom, those are stories. I go, your feed is totally different than your stories. She thought the whole time that those were just her favorite people to follow. And when in reality, that was stories. So honestly, just don't realize that some people have no idea how the whole system works. So that's just something that you guys can pay attention to. So what I do is I kind of think about my week. I think about, am I sharing something? Like, what is my intent of this post? So this morning I did a lot of sharing. I didn't do any calls to action, but by the end of tonight, I am going to say to people on my stories, like at the end of the day, when I finish the whole day 2 and I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'm going to say, you know what? If you've been watching me for the past 2 days, the past week, and you're really curious about what I'm doing, or you're feeling frustrated, with your weight, or you're craving a lot of sugar or emotionally eating and you want to know more about what I do, like I can help you. Send me a direct message or visit my bio and fill out the application. I'd be happy to share with you what I do and how I can support you on your fitness journey. And so that's what you want to do. So like once a day, you're directing people back with some sort of call to action. You can do a poll. When you're making a story, let's say you take a picture of yourself and then you can swipe up and it just says poll, and you can ask people a question. You can say, do you want to know more about this HIIT and lift program I'm doing? Yes, and absolutely. And then when people fill out that poll, then you can just go through and I send private messages to those people. So that's again where I start engaging people and asking them questions. All right. So that kind of gives you, so I just kind of work through. Sometimes I do a week at a time, I plan it out. Sometimes I'm totally winging it. And it's like every day I just kind of create something. And then honestly, I am happy if I do 1 to 2 actual Instagram posts a day. I really do rely on my stories a lot more to get business, because I feel like people just are engaged more there than they are in the feed. The feed is great, but I find that my stories actually are really where I connect with people the most. And it's so raw, and it's like, you don't have to be perfect. It's just you. And the more unfiltered you are, the better that it is. So just to give you some sort of tips and ideas for how to make that happen. Okay, now let's kind of flip it a little bit and say, okay, how do we make this like an actual business? Well, we need to start telling people we have something to invite them to. So if you're going to run your own challenge group, which guys, for those of you that don't know, I say challenge group and accountability group interchangeably. Like they're both the same. I like to say accountability group because I don't want people to think it's a challenge, like you're racing against somebody else or there's a winner or a loser. So I try to say accountability group as much as possible. And so decide when your next group is going to be. Because I just started my Summer Strong group on today, actually, I'm not going to start another group until right after Labor Day. It's going to start preseason on September 3rd. Now, I already have my Success Club points out of the way. So, if you want to co-run a group with me, that's when the next one is going to start. I'm going to call it Fall Back Into Your Health and Fitness Routine. So it's kind of like kids are back in school. Like it's just time. Like let's fall back into our routine. Let's get a handle on what happened over the summer. Let's take ownership. Let's not let this be a spiral that continues until the new year, right? And so I'm going to talk a lot about like regaining control and detoxing and emotional eating. So that's going to be my fall back into the routine part of it that I'm going to address. So now your job is to obviously decide you're going to do your own group. Maybe you want to pair up with somebody else that's a part of our training and say, hey, let's run one sooner because I don't want to wait until then to run a group. And pick a start date that's about 7 to 10 days from today, and get your title and make sort of an advertisement kind of post. So, if you're actually doing kind of an advertisement post, like even though this was business opportunity related, we're going to use this as an example. So again, this was an image that I pulled right off of Canva. It's not even me in the photo. And then you could put like, are you ready to get back into your fall fitness? Are you ready to get back into your fitness routine? Or are you ready to kick the sugar cravings? Or are you struggling to find a fitness and nutrition program that works for you, right? So it could be something like this. And then honestly, tell the story. Talk about like you're so thankful and grateful that you found something that works for you. You're on a mission to help other people achieve their health and fitness goals through the company that you're partnered with, and you're accepting 10 people that want to transform their lives too. Are you ready to get started? Then you could say, visit the link in my bio to complete the application. I will contact you in the next 24 hours with all of the details on the next accountability group that I'm running. All right, easy. And I would encourage you to do that this week. That would be one of the things that I would say by the end of this week, you should absolutely do. And now what you're going to do is you're going to start watching everybody that's viewing your stories that you don't know, or that maybe, that you're friends with, people that aren't other coaches, and start sending them a message and just say like, hey, I noticed that you liked my post about my Fall into Fitness accountability group. Are you on your fitness journey too? Are you interested in more information about my group? Start conversations. That's what you can be working on now. Same thing with your stories. You notice people are viewing it, send them a message. Hey, I noticed you've been viewing my stories. Are you on your health and fitness journey, right? I just have to ask, are you interested in knowing more about what I'm doing to lose the weight, right? Or how I'm getting healthier? And just start conversation with people. That, my friends, that's an invitation. That goes in your invite category of your business activity tracker. Your goal is to get people to fill out that application as soon as possible so that you can give them the details on the accountability group that you are running. So everything you're doing is working towards that. All right. And the goal is to get 3 to 5 people into an accountability group with a challenge pack. That's your goal. That doesn't mean that's the only thing people can purchase. They can buy trials, they can buy refreshes, they can buy Energize. You get commissions for everything. But your main goal is I need to get 3 paying customers so I can help people get results, so I can share their results, and that can be sort of credibility in my corner, right? And I will tell you, my first 3 people were like family members. All right. So if it makes you feel any better, a lot of them were like close friends and family. Jen, do I ever run Instagram ads? Yes, I do. Now, I will say I'm not seeing subscription commissions yet. How long does it take you? So if somebody buys a subscription like Beachbody On Demand, it may show up in a different category. So when you look at your Coach Online Office, look under subscription commissions versus straight commissions. It'll show up in a different category. There's just a different breakdown. Yes. So yes, I do run Instagram ads. You can play around with it. So when you go to your Instagram post and you click boost, a box will pop up and you can generate an audience. You can say, I always choose very narrowed audiences, like women only. I do ages, pick your age range. I don't go all the way past 60. I actually stop at age 50, and I don't go underneath of 25. Usually I'm 25 to 45 is usually my age range that I advertise to specifically. And then I do only women, and then English or I'll do UK English also, because we can do Canada, United States, and the UK. Those are the 3 countries we can service. I don't want to be sending an ad to people in China because they can't sign up. All right. So I make sure I specify that. And then it just says 10 interests. And my interests are things I like. I love to shop at J. Crew. I love Lululemon. I like Louis Vuitton. I, drink Starbucks. I just think of brands of things I like, and that becomes your audience. And then just try it out. Maybe you do $1 a day for 5 days or $2. And then if I'm not getting anybody, I'm not getting people to fill out the application, I'm not getting people to comment, I know it doesn't work. So I stop it and I try it again, maybe with a different photo or different wording. So ads can work, but they're not guaranteed. And I try not to throw too much money at it, but it definitely does work if you're at that point where you want to start using advertisements. All right. I try to direct people to my bio because I want them to actually fill out the application. Okay. That's that. So now to the point where people are asking you what this accountability group is or what are you doing, this is the part where I just want to say to you, do not word vomit on somebody. When somebody used to ask me and say, I want to know what you're doing, I need to get results too, I'm really struggling in my fitness, I was like, oh my God, somebody wants help. I'm going to make a sale. And I would get so excited and I would just vomit all over them. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, perfect. We need to choose a fitness program and you could be a coach. You could save 25% and you're going to need to get a challenge pack and you're going to need Shakeology. And here's the link to sign up. Okay, let me know when you're done and I'll add you to the group. And they're gone. Well, it's because they were kind of curious. They had no idea what was going on, right? And I scared them away. So I just go back to those people and say, you know what? I was really excited that you asked me for more information. I'm sorry I overwhelmed you. Can I just back that up a little bit and ask you what interests you most about this accountability group? And just ask them a question. What interests you most about the group? What are your current struggles? Are you doing a workout? Are you following any specific meal plan? What are your obstacles? And just get to know the person on the other end. That's why the application helps, because it kind of takes all of that out because you're asking those questions in there. But just talk to people. genuinely talk to people and just find out what it is they're struggling with. And then once I find that out, then I go back and say, all right, this is what I do. I match people up with fitness programs that meet their needs. I'll actually help you pick a program that'll work for you. It has a specific nutrition plan. And then I run these online accountability groups. And basically what I do is I help you set realistic goals. And then I mentor you through the program with recipes and nutrition tips and all sorts of stuff so that you actually get the results that you want. Does that sound like something you want to do? Most people will say, yes, what's the cost? And so I always say, well, it depends. Like everybody's cost is different based on the program we choose for you. So why don't we talk about that? I'll give you some pricing options and then you can decide yes or no if this is going to be a good fit. And so then I go through and I say, do you want something that is cardio? Do you want something strength training? Do you want something that's a mixture of both? Do you just want to focus on nutrition and no workouts? And then I'll go through and I'll usually in my mind, and as a new coach, I didn't know any other program other than the one I was doing. So I would just go into the catalog and I would just kind of use the little okay, they want a 30-minute workout, they want beginner level, and then it'll generate like a list of ones that would be appropriate. Honestly, because I am doing Lift 4, that's typically what I sell a lot of because that's what people are interested. If you're doing 2B Mindset and people are like, I struggle with nutrition, you're probably going to suggest 2B Mindset because that's what you're doing. That's perfectly fine too. If you just want to stick to your wheelhouse, you can do that. All right. If you just want to say, this is the program I'm doing, I love it. It's 4 days a week. It's flexible nutrition. I can fit it in any 4 days a week. I love it. You should totally do it. Here is the little trailer for it. And I just pull the YouTube link, the Beachbody link that says Lift 4 trailer, and I send it to them. I'm like, let me know if this is something you want to do. And then I will kind of go through the process of getting them signed up. Last thing I'm going to say about this process is I do not give people an option to just buy the program. Number 2, you have to be confident because I know that everybody's afraid that their people are going to say it's too expensive. And so what you have to remind yourself is that number 1, they're not getting a bag of powder and a DVD or a Beachbody On Demand subscription. They are getting you. And you are the person that's giving them this awesome accountability group and other people that are going through the process, and you are in there every day motivating them, right? You have a team of people that are supporting them, and you've got all of these scripts and guides that our team has created. Be confident because this is working for you. It's working for other people. If you want to take $170 and break it down into 8 weeks, because if it's an 8-week program, they're not spending that much money every single day, right? And when you go to a gym, you just get a gym membership. You don't get a trainer. You don't get a program. You don't get a nutrition guide. You don't get somebody to troubleshoot or call you out when you don't show up for a workout. So remember, when you go into having a conversation with somebody, remind yourself what we have is unique. It's different. It's unlike anything else. And if somebody really wants to make a lifestyle change, we are definitely the company that they want to work with, right? There's nothing else like us out there on the market. So if people are just looking for a quick fix or they really aren't willing to invest in their health, they're just not our people. Our people, our community really wants to live a healthy lifestyle. And so that's who you're looking for. You will come. I had somebody yesterday send me a message and she was like, I want to do 80-day obsession, but I don't have any money. And she goes, and I'm not really willing to spend it. So how can I get it for free? And I was like, well, you can't get it for free. I was like, you have to buy an on-demand membership. And she goes, well, I don't have very good internet access. I live in the country. I go, well, you can go into town. You can download your workouts on an iPad or iPhone. I said, and then you can go home and do them. I said, but you're still going to have to buy the subscription and the tools to do it. She goes, I'm not interested. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to talk you into it, right? I have other people that say, I thought you were giving this away for free. I was like, you wouldn't walk into a gym and say, I'm just going to come in here and use your machines, but I'm not going to pay for it, right? So don't let people take advantage of you in that way. Remember, this is a service and you have to pay for it. So just be confident in that. I know it takes time, and the more conversations you have, the more you're going to get confident in that too. All right. But I will tell you what makes the wall break down is you continue to share. Those people continue to watch you. Eventually, the ones that really care about themselves as far as like nutrition and fitness go, they'll come back around. People that care about high quality supplements, like your people that just go to GNC and buy anything, you know, they're not going to be the people that are going to buy the Beachbody Performance line. Your people that drink Mountain Dew every day as their coffee source are not going to invest in, you know, in Beachbody On Demand and challenge groups. So you have to look at your category of people you're attracting. It's a different caliber of people, and it does take time to kind of weed out and find the right types of people in the process. Okay. All right. Questions. What questions do you guys have? I hope this was helpful. Hopefully. I feel like I spewed a lot of stuff at you today. That's where I am right now. I've spent a lot of time with them, and in the end, they give excuses. So now I move on and do not spend any more time on that. They're not your people. But if they created a free account with you, like if you at least got them, put them in your community, and then they're just going to keep seeing your stuff. And so maybe one day they'll come back around, and then you just follow up with them every time you send out an email, and you don't really think too much more about it. So you're right. You know, that's what I would do with those people. Anything else? Other questions? No, it was helpful. Good. What about if you offer them the 14 days subscription to Beachbody On Demand and quarterly? So sure, you are going to get a commission if they buy the quarterly membership. Absolutely. When people are not willing to buy a challenge pack, sure, but do not put them in your challenge group. Put them in your free community. All right. So make sure you remember that. Like, you reserve your challenge group for people that make that commitment. If somebody goes into a 14-day free trial, then make sure you take the time to say, okay, this is my window of opportunity to help them, like to kind of work with them and kind of show them. So on the side, through private message, when they buy that 14-day free trial, send them an email. I'm so excited you bought the 14-day free trial. I'm so excited to help you get started. What workout program are you going to do first? Add them into the community page. When they say 21-day fix or whatever they're going to do, then you say, okay, here's where the nutrition guide is. Make sure you check it out. Figure out your bracket of what you're going to eat. Like, kind of just coach them on the side, and then just make a note in your phone on day 10 of their subscription, their 14-day free trial, to send them a follow-up message and say, all right, you're 10 days into your Beachbody On Demand free trial. What do you think? Do you like it? On day 14 or day 15, you're going to get billed for this. So if you love it, it would make more sense for you to cancel this subscription, the quarterly subscription, and get either the annual all access pass or challenge pack and go into my accountability group. So make sure you look at that 14-day trial as your window to say, can I transition them into a challenge pack before that 14 days is up? All right. So that's what I would suggest for you too. I think it's just the whole invite process that stumps me. How long do you build a relationship before you direct invite? So Jen, I am not the kind of person that loves like small talk. You'll find that about me. I'm like socially awkward when it comes to like small talk. So for me, I don't just like randomly send messages to people unless, like, if you're watching my stories, I'm like, hey, I noticed you're watching my stories. Or if somebody pops up on my Explore page and I'm like, that person's awesome, I'll send them a message and I'll say, you popped up in my Explore page, you know, like, I love that shirt you're wearing. Where did you get it from? I see you're into fitness. Like, what do you do for your workouts? And then I'll like quickly transition into, I'm a health and fitness coach. Have you ever, you need any workout accountability? I'm getting ready to launch a group. So quickly, I try to make it quick. Like, I don't want to drag on that conversation. So try to keep it short and sweet. Get into that invite as soon as you can. The more you do it, the easier it gets. So I will tell you, the longer you do it, the easier it gets. Is it a good idea to add them to an ongoing bod group only? It is a good idea to have one open for those only. I honestly, Teresa, put them in your free community, because if you have a bod group and a 2B mindset group and a Lift 4 group, you are going to want to like pop your head off. You want to try to minimize the amount of work you're doing. All right. Because I don't want this to take over your whole life. So free community and then accountability group. 2 things. That's it. So, and then the free community isn't even something you're pouring into every single day, 24/7. Your paid customers is where you're spending most of your time at. Make sense? So keep that in mind. All right. Perfect. 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 All right. I think that, okay, so here is, as we wrap it up, because it's almost 1 o'clock, our goal for the next week, right, is to get one paying customer that buys a challenge pack, and at least one person that does something else, whether it's a 14-day trial or buys a refresh or does an energy, like something, right? So one paying customer. If you get more, awesome, but let's just set our bar low. Like, I just want you to get one person that buys a challenge pack and one person that buys somebody else. And then just say to yourself, I just need to practice. I need to practice having conversations. I need to practice getting good at this posting. It is just, I don't want you to stress yourselves out about it. And honestly, at the end of the day, if even that overwhelms you, just focus on you, right? Like, focus on your results, and your full-time job right now is getting the best transformation you can get, because that at the end of the day is really what's going to make people sign up. It really is. For me, it was like, sure, at day 30, when I shared my Insanity results, people were like, awesome, way to go. But then at day 60, when I shared my finished ones, I had people sign up. And then the next time I shared results, more people signed up. And then it was like this compound effect. People were tagging their friends, and it was starting to happen. So you're your biggest asset. People they trust you and they respect you, and they're going to sign up because of what you're putting out there. So at the end of the day, you can throw everything else out the window and say, I'm just going to get awesome results and share what I'm doing, because that's going to build your following on top of it using great hashtags. All right. Okay. Quick conversations will help me transition faster. Yes. Perfect. All right. That's what we're doing this week. Again, do not be shy. If you're frustrated, if you get defeated, if you feel like you're getting met with too many objections, your job is to reach out to your sponsor and say, help me, tell me what to do, or copy and paste a conversation and say, I don't know how to answer this, tell me what to do. So whatever you need, don't be afraid to ask for it. That is our job, is to help you be successful at this, okay? And that was the promise and commitment when you signed up to have Music Coach, is that I was going to be there for you, but I won't know if you're struggling if you don't tell me. And remember, I said I don't chase you down, so you have to chase me down. And I'll be happy to answer all of the questions that you guys have, all right? Okay, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful Monday. We do have a team call tonight, actually. So if you want to learn about how to run really awesome accountability groups, we actually have another leader. I'll send out an email today with that link. I'm going to do it here actually once we're done with this call. So I will keep you posted on that. So I will post it. And yes, I'll post the call with Julie. Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye, everybody.